Balbus, and today we are talking with Chen from Orphaned Land, a metal band from Israel. Hi.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's a nice day here, so good to be here.
Yeah, and also you must be super excited about the upcoming show.
Yeah, it's one of a kind concert. I never thought actually I would do something like that.
Yeah, let us talk about the upcoming concert a little bit later. Before that, I also wanted to show you some funny memes because you're not only known as one of Israel's finest guitar players, but also as Lord of the Memes. So here's the first one. Tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, that's kind of my life in a meme. Quite of the idea why I stopped practicing. I did stop practicing after noticing that. Fake applause is the most important one in my taste. And the drummer silencer, like that's the most essential one. Keep it really low. Make it silent for me.
Oh, okay, you're gonna get some real applause. Yay! Well,
All right.
The drummer silencer, that is rude.
It's yeah, I mean I love the guy, but drums are incredibly loud. Incredibly loud. Oh, I need that pedal.
Your parents must have been very relieved when you started only playing and practicing the guitar at home as a teenager, not the drums.
In most cases, like the easiest part was the fact that it's electric and I can just plug it to earphones. That was the easiest part, but the thing that annoyed most is practicing the same part for over and over again.
Oh yes, that can be hellish.
Wow, yes.
Next one.
Yeah, my Tinder profile on my good days.
And at the moment, you are which one? More LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or more Tinder?
I would say I'm more of the LinkedIn one, actually. At this point, the link counts.
Yeah, and the final one, which is our link into the subject of today's talk.
Yes. I'm really good at guitar, just haven't played in a while. Yeah, that's pretty much every time I show up and people are like, okay, you're a guitar player, play something. I'm like, do I have to?
Yeah, you're also not a jukebox. You don't know all the songs in the world.
Yeah, and I don't know, when someone just asks me to play something, it's like, please no.
You should find yourself a song that starts with something that you can play. Something.
Yeah, I always need someone to jumpstart me, and then I could tag along maybe. But I prefer never to have a guitar around me when I'm around people, only on stage.
That is a wise decision. And during the lockdowns, many people have developed new skills and hobbies, like learning crochet or bake sourdough bread or making the perfect hummus. What new skills have you learned?
I became a graphic designer. I needed money. The music business was pretty much shut for till now. So I still need to pay the bills, and no one stops that. I taught myself graphic design, and obviously I always cook because there's no one here. I'm single and I live alone for years, so I learned to cook a couple of things, which is awesome. So yeah, we all learn new skills in the Corona times. it's for the best and worst.
Yeah, of course. You already mentioned your forced break from being a musician. Now you restarted rehearsing and already had a concert in April. Have you noticed some skills that you had to relearn?
Not really. Honestly, not really. The only, because guitar, honestly, for the past few years, I barely practice anymore. If I pick up a guitar, it's just for recording purposes or just for a little bit of fun or stress relief. But I wouldn't say that I needed to physically learn anything, but I needed to work like mostly on this, which is getting used to the fact that it's happening, that it's real. Because until I was on stage, nothing seemed real. Like it didn't seem like it's about to happen because the concerts keep postponing again and again and again, and it's like I don't take my chances. I don't want to have like expectations and then be sad that it won't happen. So it was surreal, you could say.
And if everything would depend on you alone, if you could do one thing to end this pandemic immediately, what would you be willing to do or to sacrifice to save us, the world?
I'd be gladly to stop playing guitar.
Seriously?
I'll stop playing guitar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I mean, that's a huge sacrifice.
yeah, I mean, I could sacrifice that at this point for an open world.
Yeah. This is quite a surprising answer, to be honest. I wasn't prepared for this. This is really, really hard if someone like you, who's really always very dedicated to music, and says something like this, really, heavy.
Yeah.
Will this experience of the past 13, 14 months have any impact on your further songwriting for Orphaned Land or Secret Saints?
Pretty much. I've had like a very long time of nothing. I felt like nothing I write was good at the beginning. Like most of what I'm doing is pretty much irrelevant anymore. I feel like there's no need to do any of that because I can't finance myself from doing that. So it's really a lot of time I'm spending on something that might be fun, but it will just stay here and won't mean anything. And at some point during life, you have like to be an adult and pay for things. So it really brought me to a kind of depression, and I'm the last guy to be depressed because I'm very optimistic and I believe in stuff, but it took its toll, you could say, when it comes to songwriting and focusing on music, which I just learned that it must go aside sometimes, and now it's back gladly.
You look like you're very happy now. And do you have any news about actual songwriting for Orphaned Land or Secret Saints?
For Orphaned Land, no, at this point, because Orphaned Land is a deeper process. Orphaned Land songs are not revolving around, let's say, the music. The music could exist for a very long time, but if there's no concept to wrap the whole thing together, there will be no album. Like you could say for the previous album, Unsung Prophets, the music existed for years. It's been years that we've had that material, like here in my computer, and until the very like the last year before it was released, Kobe pretty much brought the idea of Unsung Prophets, and he wrapped the songs together, and we've had a concept, and it all made sense. So Orphaned Land is a deeper kind of concept when it comes to music writing. It's more about the lyrics than it is about the music.
Yeah, you always have, or the band always has very strong messages, and words should be chosen very wisely, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you're telling the story, you're trying not to tell the same thing again and again, and you try to make it interesting and from a different approach. If you take like every Orphaned Land album, it's the same idea, basically about unity, peace, and stuff like that, but it targets from a different kind of story. Mabul is a biblical story, or Warrior is like a personal story, you could say, and Unsung Prophets is a political album.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And I was joking a little bit some time ago that when the crisis became very violent, beginning of May, the situation in the Middle East, I was a little bit joking, dark sense of humor, please excuse me, that I said that at least you don't run out of ideas for lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to that, we'll never run out of ideas, but the concept is always somehow relevant. Or very relevant, but yeah.
I want to dedicate the next song to each and every one of you, brothers and sisters, Jews and Muslims, atheists, gays, lesbians, whatever, human beings, we love you all. We are all together, the same family. This is Brother.
When I talked with Kobe in 2019 about this, he said that if ever the utopia of peace would really become real in the Middle East, Orphaned Land would stop existing and making music because the utopia would be accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished, basically. But yeah, we're a long way from that for happening anytime soon. So yeah, I guess we'll have a few more albums.
Okay, this speaks volumes. The band is already older than you are, a little bit older than you are, and you pretty much grew up with the music from your perspective, from the outside, and then later you joined the band. How would you sum up the band's evolution? The music, the subjects, how they present themselves?
I would say Orphaned Land became more definite about their process from, I would say Mabul, but Mabul is pretty much, it's like I would say Mabul is the previous Orphaned Land, but All Is One really wrapped up the Orphaned Land concept and made it more about the conceptual idea rather than the musical idea. Then after All Is One, more elements became more prominent, and it was a lot of test drives before that. So All Is One is the landmark for Orphaned Land. And nowadays, like, you could pretty much define the sound of Orphaned Land, unlike before.
Yeah, wasn't it the first album that you were part of it? All Is One?
Yeah.
So proud.
I believe in one way or another, yeah. I mean, I'm a young guy, and that was an album with a transition band members. And when the band was sort of tired and lacking some spirit, a young spirit can always change that, I believe, because I came in with full power, like, to do things that they already done and they were tired of, and someone else is showing them that it's still doable and it's still cool. So I believe that I gave some input on that one, at least.
Yeah, it looks like it. also, you when you watch all the concert videos from where you when you were very new in the band, what do you think today when you watch this?
Actually, every now and then I still like look at previous pictures of me and videos and stuff like that, and you could even say that I've been through some kind of evolution with myself of how I've been holding the guitar, how I was talking, playing, moving. It was all very different. And like you could say at the beginning when I was just in Orphaned Land, I was trying like to play the solos exactly as they are, when now I'm bringing like my own style into it, because I think I don't need to be the previous guitar player. I'm my own being, and I could bring myself into it and make it my own.
הולכים לקפוץ עכשיו כולנו ביחד, סבבה? מוכנים? Yes! Go!
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah, that is of course very important. I would hook into that. Next week you're going to play for the first time with a huge arrangement of a whole symphonic orchestra and the choir, which whom you're already acquainted. But did you have to change a little bit your own guitar parts or playing your amp settings? Did you have to adapt to the orchestra?
Not very much. Some of the parts that we chose to play are quite difficult, and we're still we're using like still computer samples and stuff like that. And the orchestra players are not the type to have like a computer in their ears. So for some of the parts, Orphaned Land will need to be focused not on ourselves, but we'll need to be focused on the conductor. So we didn't really change much from our sides, beside a few arrangements, and the fact that we need to pay attention to someone other than ourselves. That's a different kind of thing, that we're not alone there.
To be very impressive in the first rehearsals to practice with a whole orchestra, because they know a whole different kind of tightness and timing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had only just one practice. We have 2 rehearsals to do that. We've done a few rehearsals on our own, and I personally sat with the main conductor, and we went through the whole arrangements of all of the songs. It took ages because it needs to be very precise. And once we've had that done, I felt like MIDI arrangements, when you could hear pretty much how it's supposed to sound, and we just went there, he had like a speech talking to them, explaining who are Orphaned Land and what we're gonna do, because those are like a bunch of middle-aged people who were playing classical music, and now they're about to hear blasting drums and guitars. So you need to be to have like some approach to that. So it was very interesting, like to sit aside and see how they process the kind of things that we have. We see that as easy and it's normal, but for them you have to talk in a whole different language.
Yeah, of course. Well, with the choir you're already acquainted. You've played so many concerts with HELLSCORE, and now you're still in this rehearsal moment with the orchestra, and as you just explained, it's very technical at the moment. But from after this first rehearsal, do you already have like a favorite moment in a song, or a favorite song, a goosebump moment, something that is really huge that we can look forward to?
Yeah, from my ideas, from the things I wanted to do, which things that happen already on like Metallica's S&M, I always wanted like the ballads to be without playback, just to be without anyone, just them. Because for me, imagine for me, I wrote the songs and suddenly like a bunch of people, like 45 of them playing that on a symphonic orchestra, which is pure goosebumps. The thing is, it's just me with them. It's another kind of feeling. And the side note, I also fucked up on the practice.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah. I was basically just supposed to. Usually, I just start the song whenever I want, and suddenly there's a conductor, and I'm sitting there, and they start playing, and I'm still looking. Oh, me? Yes, right.
Yeah, well, you cannot hide behind 44 other people.
Yeah. I need to be more. I need to listen carefully on this concert.
Yeah. For the set list, will it be a best of Orphaned Land with hits and evergreens, or will you also play very rarely performed songs as well?
Rarely performed. Yeah, I mean there are a few best of, obviously, that you cannot let go of the set like at any point, but due to the fact that there is a symphonic orchestra, we are able to bring out songs that we're not usually playing, because they have their moment to shine there, unlike other songs which the guitars are the main part. So they will shine on different songs.
That's good news. I'm very excited about that. I mean, everyone loves to hear All Is One live, and like Orpheus, and of course the cave and stuff, and Safari. But it's also nice to have something rare live. Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know which are the songs, and suddenly I got the set list, and I was like, interesting. I never expected that. Not the order, not the songs. I didn't see that coming. So it's something really new, even for us.
So you didn't have any saying in the set list, or no?
No.
No.
I just received the set list and I said, interesting. I like it.
Okay, let's see how the people will react. And also, your brother Oren was on stage on the last concert in April. Will he be on stage next week as well?
Next time, no. At this point, we usually bring my brother like for the more intimate kind of events, and the ones that have more growls into them. And this particular concert, we won't have the songs. He's usually ping-ponging Kobe.
Okay.
I just gave a hint there. Yeah.
Okay. Let's not spoil anything. Yeah. Also, I mean, the concert is sold out, right?
No,
no,
really, like very few last tickets.
This is insane. Let's cross fingers, everything goes well into next week. And for the people who cannot be there physically, how can we be part of the experience?
First of all, they have chairs. So it's basically a sitting concert, but people obviously stand at some point. And it will be like going to see a classical concert, you could say that, but it's not. So it will be a very odd experience. I could say this is the most ambitious kind of Orphaned Land concert, you could say, when it comes to production and the time invested in making it happen. It's really expensive as well.
Yeah. After this, which next big thing would be on your list?
I don't know yet. I don't know, honestly. This thing is pretty much like the biggest thing that happened, but right now the next big thing is to have the world normal. It sounds so small, but it's big for us because it didn't happen for over a year.
Yeah, true. Luckily there's internet. You're going to live stream the whole event. How can people watch this?
They could join us on Patreon and they will receive a private link and just type nice comments and someone will answer them back.
And also when people join you on Patreon, they can also rewatch the other concert you did, right? Is it still on?
All of our Patreon supporters get like, which tier you choose, you get like previous content from the exclusive stuff or the previous concert that was streamed, and or just, you know, buy a one-time fee and enjoy the concert.
Or choose to support the band for a longer time on Patreon.
Yeah, that also helps.
Okay, then, well, to wrap the official part up, do you have any news about tours, more concerts, new merch, new content for Patreon?
We have a concert in Romania actually in September, I think, and hopefully the tour will happen next year in April. That's the plan. Things are getting back to normal.
Yeah, that's
slow.
Okay. Well, Chen, do you have some words for your German and French fans?
I know how to say wunderbar, but yeah, I'm just asking you all to hang in there, like survive the COVID as we all did, and things are getting better, and they will even get more better than that. So keep a smile.